Alright, here is video review for Ocular Max RMX06 and RMX07 from their remix line RIOT and FUROR, aka Frenzy and Rumble, however you decide to designate those nomenclatures. And I like that both RIOT and FUROR are both names that really don't, and their character bios don't really hint at who does what. It's great. Maybe in the character art where you got Frenzy, the red one shooting a beam of concentrated thing, whereas I don't know, whatever. But yeah, they both say they talk about ground shattering waves and his arms are pile drivers, and they're both. But I love that like both RIOT and FUROR could also be described as both frenzies and rumbles. But anyway, so you open up inside. Now, one of the issues I had with these is like you can see it's kind of smished up here in the corner. Like it almost feels like, and it may just be on mine, but the way these instruction sheets were cut just a little too wide for the case. These guys already fit in there fairly tightly, but you just kind of mushed up the instructions over here. It's not the end of the world, but you know, hey. So we'll go ahead and pop them out. And each thing unfolds to show the instructions and comes with a little bio card, as well as the brief the character description here on the itself. But you can see they're standard cassette size. They're not micro cassettes like the others, but the others aren't either. Just like the others, they are not micro cassettes. Let me put it that way. In the line, but they're more full size cassettes. But still really fun, and there's a really neat transformation on these guys to get them to robot mode. Now they are fairly plain. Like they just look like cassette tape chunks of plastic here. They do each come with an alternate head for one. And I'll have to see what the differences are. But also they come with their own labels. You don't have to buy a repro label set unless they do a better one. But cassette labels for you can put on the figures themselves. It looks like both sides. I'm not sure. I'm probably going to apply one of these sets after I do the review, because I'm not sure how much of these actually get hidden in robot mode, but we'll see. So yeah, here they are in cassette mode. We'll focus on one. We'll really focus on one. We'll transform both of them, but we're really going to focus on the transformation of one. And one of the things that's neat about this is you can see the weapons hidden under here, down in the bottom of the cassette. So come up here and untab these bits right here, and these will just fall out. If you do it from the top, you have to pull them out. But the little back weapons, they can be held as, you flip these all the way around, they can be held as handguns, or they will plug into the back. But unfold those, pull the wing out to the side, and then pull the handle all the way down and around, and set those off to the side for a moment. So come up here, that's pulling these out. Untab this side, basically the foot from the hand, as it turns out, as you'll see, and bring these down. Do make note of where everything goes, going back into cassette mode, because you can see there's like a little tab under here that's supposed to go inside these blue pieces, and that's easy to miss. When you're going back, you'll be like, why are these not pinning together right? And it's probably because this tab is outside the blue piece. This should clip around that little tab here. Just make a note of where everything goes in cassette mode. Okay, bring these down and around. You see these are going to be the legs. Go ahead and take the foot, rotate this piece around. So this is folded up like this. Bring this up, bring the foot all the way up and around like this. And then this piece, as you can see, dual hinges and fills in that molded gap there to make the foot. Same on this side. Rotate it around. Take these panels and open them up. Like this, you'll see how this can collapse. Take these and flatten those out, and then this whole assembly collapses, and then these fold back, and then fold in and tab in to form the back of the leg. And you go ahead and rotate them to face. You can see which part of the crotch is the front with the detail on it. So rotate those to face forward. Make sure this comes up. This should sit, there you go. You should sit behind these folding panels here. Go ahead and fold these little hip pieces down as well. So yeah, rotate this around. Again, pull these out to the side. Flip these panels up and out. Pull these back, peg them in, and then collapse that assembly forward. And there the leg's done. Now up here is where it gets tricky. So untab these. You can see these panels also, again, when you close this up, these panels have little tabs that these collapse around. These should go inside the arm piece. It brings the arms out to the side like this. See, there's his face, but you want to lift this up a little bit, bring these panels down, the lower panels down. And it looks like he's got a super long neck, but we'll fix that. So with these still up, bring this whole, as you can see, it rotates here near the cassette hole, but you want to bring the whole assembly up so this tab locks in up here. And while you're doing it, you can rotate it, the purple piece around the blue part, to snap that on like that. Just like that. And once those are up, you can take these pieces on the front and back, fold them down, lock them into place, which reveals his head. Kind of smushed his nose up there a little bit. So he's got a smiling face, and the extra face that comes with him is not is more of a stoic face. But so bring the arms down, extend them out from here. I'm going to rotate them around so the elbow goes forward. This panel comes back and fills in the back of the arm, and then the fist slides out just like that. It doesn't look like, I keep thinking like on some figures, maybe if I pull it out a little farther, it will have a wrist swivel, but it doesn't appear to be the case. And I don't want to risk breaking it. So bring this around. Pop that out. Stand him up. And like I said earlier, you can have him hold his little weapons in his hand, or you can plug them in to the back. Just like that. They're a little smallish, but they do peg into the back just like that. Same thing here with, I already can't remember if this one's Riot. This is Riot. The red one's Riot. Red is Riot. There you go. So yeah, exact same thing here. You pop these out and get the weapons out. Untab the leg. Bring them down. Excuse me. Oh, please don't be the flu. It's pledge week at work. I can't have the flu. Bring these up. Goes down. Again, the exact same process as before. Actually, you know what? I found a feature on this thing the other day. Let's try something different. Refocus. So there they are in robot mode, and they've got some pretty decent posability. They've got a ball joint at the neck. Also, something I noticed is when you transform them back, make sure to turn the head around. I think that's what damages his nose, because this side has an indent and this side doesn't. But you got the ball joint head, ball joints at the shoulders, and again, that interior joint. Now, one of the things that is slightly problematic is why it does have the ball joint at the shoulders, and it allows it to rotate forward freely. Rotating out, it's hard to get it in like a mid position, rotating it out here. Like this, he's a little better than FUROR, just because, but it does tend to want to pop because of how that plastic meets there. It wants to pop out way far. So either use the shoulder joint or just be careful when posing this, because it does tend to kind of have a springiness to it. But ball joint at the shoulders, dual hinged elbows. Again, no wrist swivel, sadly. There's a bicep swivel. A waist swivel, he does have an ab crunch. You can actually have him sit down all the way down. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, like, it looks a little silly. He's got long thighs. But you can have an ab crunch all the way down there, as well as, I guess you could flip these up and have, there we go. Have him sit a little bit more naturally there. That's really nice. So you got that. You got the side to side, thigh swivel, front to back on the hip, and then thigh swivel, I guess hip side to side, and then thigh swivel. 90-degree hinge knees, and the foot itself is on a ball joint, so you get a pretty decent range of motion there too. They also come with these little stands. Each one has a little stand that you can slide their feet into to hold them in place. Now, why would you want to hold them in place, you might ask? Well, that's what we're going to get to. They both have them. I'm going to show you off here on FUROR because those are the ones that have the batteries in it. You get pile drivers, and these are kind of nifty. One, you can fold up, you can store the weapon, the back weapon in here, and plug these into the, basically you're just kind of folding it up, and you can fold this up and store the weapon, and then peg these onto the back so he can carry them on his back, which seems a little silly to me. I prefer to just come and sit to the side. But you take the arms and you lift them up and out to the side like this. It's kind of similar to how the Masterpiece itself did it. Fold the, collapse the fists in, or bring their arms up like this, open up the top of the pile driver, you want to have the button in the back, and then you slide this in. Come on, you. Yeah, make sure you have that joint exposed, because that's the thin part that slides in here. Slide it on, cap it up and close it up. And then there we go. Cap it and close it. And then you just push the button on the back. And look at that! The noise is annoying. I wouldn't leave them on for any long length of time. It's powered just by 2 LR44 batteries in each driver. So you need 4 per character. You need 8 total for both of them. RIOT has them as well, but I don't have the batteries in his. He's dead, but it's the same method. Now these tend to, like, you see it's going, but when you lift it to horizontal, it actually goes faster. I don't know why exactly that is. I don't know, maybe it's fighting gravity in this position, but yeah. Now it does, you see it does kind of cause the arms to sag a little bit. And sometimes, this one especially, sometimes just likes to stop. But you can get them pile driving, which is pretty crazy. With the pile driver's own feet. But that's why the base, you can have that running. Although again, it's just 2 little button cell batteries, and I don't know. See, sometimes it works, and sometimes it's just this right one, left one, the one on the right to me. So yeah, I feel like for LE, like I had 8 LR44s. The other 4 are in, I believe, my 2 MP Optimus Primals. And for LEDs that you turn on every now and then, it makes sense. I feel like you're gonna, if you leave these on constantly, you're gonna burn through those. Being a mechanical motion, being powered by little button cells, you're probably gonna run those down pretty quickly and go through batteries a lot if it's something you want to have on constantly. Like I said, they did come with alternate heads. Let's see how easy it is to, do I have to unscrew a head or does it just pop right on? There is a screw on the back. Let's see. Can I just pop his head off? Okay, the head is not popping off easily and I'm not going to risk breaking it. So let's grab the screwdriver, which you may want to have handy anyway, because the other drawback to these pile drivers is that you can see I've already gashed myself on my thumb getting these off. You can't just come up here and pull this off, and there's not really enough there. Okay, there we did it, but it's hard to get leverage around here to get this piece out. Maybe we can do it. Get it at the right corner. There we go. So if you tilt it so the corner's kind of in there, you might get enough of be able to get enough of a fingernail in there to get there and leverage these off without hurting yourself or causing any issues. But I did be aware of that because I did get myself a nasty gash. So it's not nasty, but it hurts a little bit. So go ahead and unscrew the head. All right, we'll take you all the way out. Pop the head apart. Unscrew the next head. And then just pop it around the ball joint. Love magnetic screwdrivers. And screw it back together. And now we've swapped out his head. Which again, this one has a bit of a grin to it. Not a huge grin, but a bit of a grin to it, and a smushed nose. Whereas this guy is now stoic and pristine. So yeah, they're fun. They're a great little addition to the remix line. I like the actual cassette-sized tapes that they're doing with these. I would like to see Slugfest and Overkill, maybe some of the Autobot cassettes. We'll see. Grand Slam and Rain Dance. Ooh, Beast Box and Squawk Talk. For this quality, I would love to see them because I remember having those as a kid. I had all the Decepticon cassettes as a kid. I don't know if I had any Autobot cassettes. Maybe I had the line. I don't remember. Steel Jaw. But yeah, so neat little gimmick with the pile drivers. I think we have them with different heads. I like having one have a smile and one being kind of stoic-y. But yeah, fun little dudes. You can just unpeg them from the stand. If you can, there we go. And real quick with the others in the line, I just have one of the birds here. But there's Vulture and Jaguar. Vulture has his camera out. I don't know if I ever shot an update video for those with the camera out, but just to see how they compare together, they look pretty nice. And then go ahead and pull these up a little bit. And just for the sake of it, so you can have it, here they are with Masterpiece Soundwave. And like I said, larger than they were generally portrayed in the cartoon, but they don't look horribly outsized from Soundwave. Obviously, they turned into a much larger cassette that can fit in his chest. But yeah. And then just real quick, since we have Masterpiece Soundwave, here they are with the Masterpiece. I just brought one of them because it was easier to just grab one of them off the shelf, but just to give you an idea of how they compare with the actual Masterpiece size versions of themselves. So yeah, a neat little set from Ocular Max, Riot and FUROR, Frenzy and Rumble. I dig them. I do. Like I said, I would have been happy with them just as they are right here. I didn't need the pile drivers. It's not a gimmick I feel I'm going to use a lot. I'm going to save those batteries for like an LED feature where I'll get a lot more use out of. I just don't see myself having those pile drivers on at all, or even often or even at all. They're loud, they're noisy. They will probably drain the battery pretty quickly. But as a gimmick, it's kind of neat that somebody managed to do it. But there it is, RMX06 and 07, Riot and FUROR from Ocular Max.